Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula says the department will present the report about the status of Etolls in Gauteng province in August this year. This follows a directive from the president that the issue must be thoroughly discussed. Mbalula was speaking in Durban at the N3 Marion Hill toll plaza, where law enforcement agencies and the department held a post-Durban July roadblock. Mbalula says the issue of Etolls needs a collective decision and the participation of all the relevant structures.
The president have spoken. We are not a banana republic. We are not a Mickey Mouse state. We are a democratic state accountable to the people of the republic. We've got to take issues seriously and address them as agreed. And I'm looking forward now to leading that process with my colleagues and finalize within the timeframes that have been set by the president.
Well, COSATU has demanded that action be taken against Finance Minister Mboweni following comments that he made on Twitter on Etolls. Now, a war of words has now played out on Twitter between Gauteng Premier David Makhura and the minister. Now, during his recent State of the Province address, Makhura assured motorists that his government working to get rid of Etolls as they believe the tolling system has absolutely no future in Gauteng. But Mboweni fired back on social media, insisting that Etolls are here to stay. Now, to discuss this further, we are joined by Monyela, the COSATU Gauteng chairperson. A very good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Simpiwe, to you and your viewers.
Now, you're calling for Mboweni, Minister for Finance, to be disciplined. Why?
Well, you've heard Minister Mbalula saying there's a process that is now undertaken in relation to the Etolls saga. And after even the Premier has announced through his State of the Province address that the Etolls do not have place in Gauteng. So you can't have a minister in cabinet who will want to manage government through Twitter and threaten the people of Gauteng out of the taxes that they are paying, the hard-earned taxes of workers. So you can't have such a runaway minister all the time. He's differing with policy positions of his movement first and foremost, and putting his own personal interest before the interest of movement of his movement as well as government. So that's why we are saying the president, as the employer of Mboweni, must act against Mboweni because he's bringing the 6th administration of President Cyril Ramaphosa into disrepute. So if he has got personal views on policy matters, those views are discussed at conferences, that are discussed in cabinet, and when they are agreed upon, he must defend those things in those spaces. He cannot come up with a different view in the public space. That's why he must be disciplined.
How does COSATU think this Etolls saga then should be handled? I mean, the gantries are there and the government incurred huge debts installing this.
Well, that's not our baby, by the way. We did not call for the Etolls. Let them see what they are going to do with the countries and all of those things. They never consulted anybody when they were dealing with the tolling of the roads and the Etolls system. So now they want the Federation and everybody else in Gauteng to come up with solutions. We have elected them to come up with solutions of the people of this country as well as the people of Gauteng. So that's why we are saying we don't want even to get into that space because we are paying tax, we are paying fuel levy, we are paying everything in this country. So therefore, they are our servants. So therefore, they must come up with alternatives and solutions. That's why the president is saying, end of August, let them come up with a report to cabinet. So our view is our campaign has been successful. So we are not paying Etolls. The Federation was the first to say motorists must not pay Etolls. So we are not paying. So this, in our view, is the biggest boycott since the dawn of democracy. So let them not ask us for any solutions. We are paying too much in this country.
I suppose Finance Minister Mboweni is still holding on to government's initial position of the Etolls machinery and mechanism to generate revenue for the government, to ease the burden on taxpayers and motorists. Do you not buy into that school of thought?
No, we're not buying into that school of thought. Like I said, we are paying tax. That's first and foremost. So that's what we are doing. And then, like we said earlier, government must see to finish on this particular issue. So it was not workers and the people of this province who said they must go and look for loans to come and toll these roads, because we knew that we are paying for the Etolls. So from our point of view, can government listen to its people, like Minister Mbalula has said. The people have spoken. The people have rejected this thing. So therefore, if this government is a government of the people for the people, so government is going to listen to the people. If this government is government for its leaders in cabinet, it will listen to themselves, and the people will act decisively on this thing, as in the manner in which they are acting now, boycotting this thing, civil disobedience. That's what the people are saying. You have to listen to the people.
Now, COSATU, being an alliance partner of the ruling party, the African National Congress, what do you think these Twitter spats between these two ANC leaders will do for unity within the party?
That is childish, that is stupidity, that is arrogance at its best. You don't find leaders who are clear in their mind, fighting each other in a social media space. So we think the leadership must grow up because it is, like you are saying, it then divides the organization, it divides cabinets, so it weakens Cyril Ramaphosa. So we are happy that the president has also indicated to them that they must stop this nonsense of engaging each other in a social media space. They are adults. So we need this government to be united. We need the African National Congress to be united in order for them to be able to deliver services to the people of this country.
I guess that's what President Ramaphosa said, that these two leaders should just grow up. Well, not so many words. So he actually called them to the negotiation table to find an amicable solution to these impasse. So what are the outcomes that you're hoping for?
No, you see, in terms of the president, we don't want him to call them to negotiations, by the way. We want him to give them an order. That go and resolve this issue, because you will remember that the president, when he was still the deputy president, he was given a task to deal with the issue of the Etolls. So in our view, he has worked on this thing. So there shouldn't be further negotiations. There should be, what are we going to do to resolve the problems? So that's what we want to see happening as the federation.
Okay, since the countries are there, or they are on our roads already, what do you suggest should be done in order to generate revenue?
Well, it is not our place to assist government on how to generate revenue. In our national roads, so no revenue should be generated unnecessarily. So therefore, all what we can tell them in terms of the usage of the countries, they must use it for security purpose, probably. So in order for them to generate revenue, we are not there. So we are not at a point where we can tell them how to use these countries to generate revenue. We just reject them.
All right. Mr. Monyela, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate your time. Well, that was Mr. Monyela. He is a COSATU spokesperson for Gauteng.